YouTube, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, my name's Diana and we discuss eating a gluten-free, vegan, plant-based lifestyle. And on today's video, we're going to be making Philly cheesesteaks from tofu. Wait, don't leave. I promise you, I think this is going to be a good one. I haven't tried them yet. I actually stole the idea from The Burger Dude. If you've seen his channel, you know what I'm talking about. And he stole it from the Sauce Stash. So if you haven't heard of those channels, I'll try to link the two videos up here somewhere. It looked really good. I can't wait to get these ingredients mixed together and try it for the first time on camera with all of you. So let's get into it. So he recommends you use a super firm tofu, not an extra firm, but a super firm. So luckily I had one in my fridge. We're also gonna put in a bunch of ingredients. He uses a better than bouillon. I didn't get the beef flavor, I couldn't find it. Apparently it's vegan, still kind of scary. Tamari or soy sauce. I had to get Vegemite online on Amazon, gluten-free, because the Vegemite in the store was not gluten-free. Liquid smoke. Browning liquid, love that for us. Nutritional yeast, onion powder, garlic powder. Oh, don't forget the smoked paprika and a neutral oil such as avocado oil. Girls, say hi. Okay, anyways. And first we'll put the marinade in and then we'll slice down our tofu. So let's do that. All right, so we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of the beefless broth or the bouillon, better than bouillon flavor. It's very sticky. And then he says, depending how salty you want your cheesesteak, you're gonna add 2 to 3 tablespoons of soy sauce or tamari. I don't like super salty because everything else in this dish is gonna be salty. So we're just gonna do 2 tablespoons. Then we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of the Vegemite, gluten-free, okay? Then we're gonna do half a teaspoon of liquid smoke, 1 teaspoon of browning sauce for the color, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, half a teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 2 tablespoons of a neutral oil. I opted for avocado, so did he. Okay. And lastly, 2 tablespoons of water. There's a lot of stuff in this marinade. And I had to buy a lot of ingredients. I don't even know if I'm going to use them again. I hope so, to make this dish, right? All right, and then 2 tablespoons of water. Perfect. Then he said you're just gonna mix this up. All right, and then he says to cut it in very thin slices. The super firm tofu did not even need to be drained. That's the one thing I actually love about this tofu and why I buy it in general to use, because there's not a lot of water in the packaging and it doesn't really ever need to be drained. It doesn't hold that much liquid, thus it is super firm. I'm not crazy about the perfection of the slices because we are going for that chipped beef look to our meat. I'm just going to cut this all down. Obviously, please use a sharp knife. It'll make your job a lot easier. Then simply we're just going to put the tofu in and mix it up till it's marinated. And not to worry if we break the tofu slices, because remember, like I said, we want this to have a very chipped beef kind of look to it. So just going to get it nicely marinated. Onto a baking sheet, we're going to put everything. And we're going to bake it in the oven at 350 for 20 to 30 minutes. Basically until the tofu is slightly dried out and chewy. I guess we're making some like tofu jerky today, guys. So let's just try to get it spread out pretty evenly. All right, into the oven she went. 20 to 30 minutes, set the timer. All right, next up is gonna be our cheese sauce, because any Philly cheesesteak without the cheese would not be the same. I grew up eating sliced cheese melted onto my cheesesteak, but we're gonna do it Philly style. So we're gonna make a cheese sauce. Obviously I can't use cashews like in the Burger Dudes video, so I'm going to make my own cheese sauce. I do this on the regular. I take plant milk. Right now I've been really loving the Khalifa Farms organic oat. Use any plant milk of your choice, preferably unsweetened. Next up, I like to add in all my seasonings. I just add garlic powder, onion powder, nutritional yeast, salt, and black pepper. And along with that, my cheese of choice, which I love, the Daiya cheddar shreds. You may use anything you prefer. If you like Violife, go for it. I don't measure, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just eyeball it and taste it. So once we get this going, I'm gonna whisk it up and we should have a beautiful cheese sauce. Gotta put down the camera to do the pepper, but you get the idea. So we're just gonna let this melt and mix up. And I always keep the cheese nearby and put everything else away because there's a good possibility I didn't add enough cheese shreds. We want this to be ooey gooey, thick and creamy. And then I'm gonna taste it, see if we need more salt or garlic. They're usually the two culprits that I need. I sometimes also add in, with that black pepper that's already in here, a little turmeric because it's gonna give the cheese some more color. So if you like that real yellow color, even though Daiya does have that on these cheese shreds, a little more won't hurt. We really want it to look like that artificial nacho cheese sauce that you get in the can. Delicious, right? Okay, so I also cut up some French fries because what cheesesteak is complete without the French fries? They're russet potatoes. Soak them for about an hour in water. And now I'm going to toss them in a bowl with just, I love to toss them with oil, salt, and pepper. So I'm just gonna use a little avocado oil, a little salt, and some black pepper. And into the air fryer they're gonna go for about 20 minutes on 375. I also wanna talk to you about the rolls I'm using. So traditional Philly cheesesteak is usually on an Amoroso roll. Can't eat those because they're not gluten-free. And I know you've seen me use this brand in other videos, but Char makes a baguette. You can bake it in the oven. It's really long, guys, so I'm actually going for a shorter look today. So we're gonna use bee-free, gluten-free, and vegan baguette rolls. So we're gonna pop these in the oven. We're gonna pop these in the oven at the same temperature the tofu was for about, it says 7 to 9 minutes, and then we'll assemble. So this is done. I think it is kind of soft still. It's not really dried out. So I am going to turn this and then give it another 10 minutes like the instructions said. So once you pull it out the oven, it looks like this. It's very dry, which is perfect. And then according to the Burger Dude, he puts it into a frying pan with beef broth and water to add more moisture to it so it has more of a juicy flavor. So that's what we're gonna do right now. And we're just gonna add the half a cup of water. If I add more broth, it's gonna be too salty. So we're just gonna let this reduce down until there's no more moisture, and then we will assemble our cheesesteaks. Okay, now that it's all reduced out, we're going to assemble our cheesesteak and take a bite. Okay, there she is. The fries are done, and then we're just gonna add this cheese sauce I made. Right on top. All right, there it is. Time for the taste test. All right, so we're gonna take a bite. Wow. That tastes like real meat. That's creepy. The texture is really good. It tastes just exactly like a cheesesteak meat would taste. I do remember what a cheesesteak tasted like. The cheese is perfectly salted, and my French fries, perfect. All right, well, I'm gonna chow down on this. I'm probably gonna sneak in a little ketchup because that's how I like to eat my cheesesteaks. You can do them any way you want. I hope you guys try this recipe. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed because you're new, please do. And as always, stay driven.